Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Well, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. Welcome back to Coffee with Danny and V. I am one of the co-founders of Menopause, Vanessa. Everyone calls me V. And joining me today, as always, is my co-founder, Danielle. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here today because we were talking about one of my favorite, it's a topic that affects life often. Let's say that.
Every single day. And you know what? I think it's appropriate today because I'm feeling it more than usual today.
Are you?
So Danielle and I usually get together at 9:30 on Fridays, doing a Zoom call like this, so we can chat and include you guys in on the chat. And today has been a little stressful. It is now 10:43 where we are. So, it's just how life can get away from you. What I think a lot of our user are what I think a lot of our viewers don't know is just how dialed into the day-to-day Danielle and I are. So Danielle runs the creative team. I run all the copy. So I'm literally writing emails. And that's not something that co-founders normally do in a company. I don't feel when I've talked to other female co-founders, I get a sense from them that they have people who do these things for them. And we have a staff, don't get me wrong. But it's very important to Danielle and I that we're involved. We know what message the company is sending, and that we're always tied into that. And that means that we are often day to day, down and dirty, doing the work ourselves. So
Yes,
that right, but that can mean that we're a little stressed out some days, but in a good way. And we want to talk to you guys today about how we manage our stress because let's face it, everybody has it. Everybody needs to manage it.
Yep, that's very true. And I love that we get to talk about this stuff and I love that we get to take the time, but it is important for I think our customers to realize how involved we are in the company too. And we are pushing this team along, and a lot of the creative, the messaging, everything that you see is directly from Vanessa and I. It's our vision, it's our company, and we're excited to, it's a blessing. It's fun, it's exciting. We love that we get to do this, but it is stressful. It's work. Work is stressful as much as you love it. And being a business owner can be stressful too. It adds additional stresses to life that, are different.
Yeah, and I think we really do need to take a minute to acknowledge that women have a different level and a different kind of stress, right? My husband is great. He makes dinner, he does dishes, right? He's does his own laundry, but there are still just considerations that women have to take into account that maybe men don't have to. Like when I'm stressed out about meeting a deadline for work, I'm also stressed out about, because my stress bleeds over into the house, right? We're all working from home, so that gets a little tricky.
Exactly.
So, you know, and then I feel bad because I've snapped at somebody in my home because I'm stressed about meeting a deadline at work. They don't even know anything about it, but here I am stressing and trying to get it all done. And it's just a matter of getting everyone prioritized so that no one feels left out. Right?
I hear you.
I kind of feel like women are relationship managers, whether that's by social conditioning or by genetic makeup, who knows? But I do feel like that's just our default setting for a lot of us, is that we manage relationships. And so whenever we are letting one slide because we have to meet the needs of the other, it's really stressful.
It is. It is. In fact, I was thinking about it myself about my weekends, which are, supposed to be, outside of work. What are we getting done around the house and taking care of? And it's supposed to allow for me time and, all those things. And I was like, well, I'm a lot busier on the weekends than I might think I should be or want to be. and it's a lot of it's because I still have children that they can't drive themselves. So it's, I have to facilitate, I have to accommodate for them too, and make time for all of those things. And I really don't, you know, get to that stress relief time as quickly or as often as I might hope to, because there are so many things going on. I mean, it's the house, it's work, it's, and there is this interesting, it's one of the things that I've thought about a lot is as women in society have evolved and have taken on more roles outside of the home, which was, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, that was the traditional role for most women. And so now you have a lot of working moms, and it's amazing. I love being a working mom. I love being having that fulfillment work wise, but you still have the home life and stress and jobs and duties there as well, that I think the men, in most men, and I know a lot of men though that actually do, like your husband that does the cleaning or, laundry, or, they help and facilitate. And I think men in general have done a better job of picking up those additional slack pieces, and my husband does too. But we still have this underlying stress of maintaining the house for women, plus maintaining work, plus maintaining the kids. And I don't remember the term. There was a term that someone opened my eyes to, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so like, it's like the unknown workload that women have outside of work.
Right.
And and it really spoke to me, because it's so true. Like I think in some ways too, because women traditionally stayed home, there's actually like a slight taboo now almost, that if you are a stay-at-home mom, that you're not, going out and you're not evolving and you're not becoming, but in some ways there, maybe that's what works too, in a lot of ways, that you have that balance of, the whether, and I've seen men actually take on this role too, where they stay home with the kids and they manage the kids and the house, and then the wife goes off to work, and I've seen where that kind of helps with stress life, work balance, between family members and stuff like that. Because I don't think, and I think all of these positions are right, don't get me wrong. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, I value you in everything that you do. Whether you are a single mom and you have to work, whether you're a working mom and you work because that is your fulfillment, you love doing your job and what you do, or you're just providing for your family. I think that all of these roles that women take are so important, and we should never look down or devalue any of them whatsoever, because they're all difficult, all of them. And I think though, it's sometimes when you take on too much, and sometimes it feels that way when you're a working woman, plus the mom, plus taking care of the household, and you don't find that good balance. And I would say, and sometimes it's, you're a single mom, you have to fill all of those roles. You don't have a husband to lean on to pick up the slack. And I think that in those situations, women have a harder time managing their stress too, because there's so many roles that they have to play. And I hope that women can remember though, that they, again, we talked about this, loving yourself around Valentine's Day, but taking time to help yourself relieve that stress, because it's important. And if you fall apart because your stress levels are so high, then the kids fall apart, the house falls apart, work falls apart. So take time for yourself and work on relieving that stress. So Vanessa, what do you do to relieve stress?
Okay. Now, I just want to preface this by saying there's no wrong way to relieve your stress.
It's true. It's whatever, I say that all the time, and in mothering and life and everything, to each their own. It's whatever works for you. You know, whatever works for me isn't going to work for you, Vanessa, and whatever works for you might not work for other women. But
Right.
I do love that we can come together and we can share what works for us, because sometimes as women, we need ideas, right?
Right.
We
So
need
I know for you,
inspiration.
you love to meditate, but for me, that is not something I can do. You know what I love? Here's what I love more than anything in the world for stress relief is to go to a fabric store. And I haven't done this in a long, long time. So I'm feeling it. But to go to a fabric store and just touch different textures of fabric. I'm a very tactile person, and I am just obsessed with fabric, the history of fabric. Um, and so for me, it's a real sort of way for me to distance myself from my stressors because I get to go touch the fabric, think about the weave, think about how it was manufactured, recall the history of it, look at the print, think about the colors that are being used. I am obsessed with fabric. So that is my biggest stress reliever, and I cannot wait to go touch fabric again.
You know what? In all of these years that I've known you, I did not know that. I did
Well,
not.
and that's why I prefaced it by saying there's no wrong way to relieve your stress, because it is something that I feel not ashamed by, but something that just feels like it's not soup. It's not like something that everyone would do. It's not something that everyone would understand right away. And that's why I explained it so much. Because if I just say, oh, to relieve stress, I go touch fabric, people look at you a little funny, I think. So it's not something that I share very often, but I am obsessed with textiles.
Well, that is good to know. I'm gonna cue that one. For me, and you did talk about it, and I do talk about it a lot in our communications with our viewers and we have a whole segment coming on our app with the newest update.
So excited about this, you guys. So
Yes.
when you update your app or you download it, now you're going to see meditations. You're going to
Yes.
be able to go right into our app and access meditations. I'm going to actually try it because maybe I will find that it does help relieve my stress. I just haven't, had the right tools. Who knows?
So I find that, so yes, meditation is one of my biggest stress relievers. And I'll tell you why. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about, in my opinion, the misconceptions around meditation, and that a lot of people think that it's maybe a bunch of hippie nonsense. Okay, let's throw that out there. Maybe they feel that it's too a different kind of spiritual for them, and it doesn't fall in line with their spiritual beliefs. So, prayer, in my opinion, is also a form of meditation. So, if you were to think of it that way, it doesn't have to be so off the cuff. Different than what your spiritual beliefs might be, and I see a lot of people actually get hung up on that with meditation, is that it doesn't fall in line with their spiritual belief. And to me, meditation is not necessarily spiritual. It is about relaxation. It is about clearing the mind.
And reducing your cortisol levels, right? Because when you are engaged in deep breathing, you can help bring down your stress hormone cortisol. That's my understanding. Yeah.
Yes. And for me, what it does is am so inundated. Like, I need peace and quiet sometimes to really relieve my stress. And I notice that even driving in the car, I will not turn on the radio sometimes. Like, I literally, it's silent, and I'll notice it. I'll reach my destination and realize that I was so deep in thought the whole time that I didn't even realize the radio wasn't playing or anything. And meditation is kind of the same thing. What I do like about a lot of meditations is, the calming music that can kind of come with it. It helps to just kind of relieve stress, calm yourself, let go, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and you'd actually be surprised. I've found this in meditation and in yoga, that if you actually listen to the yoga instructor or to the meditation and do as they're instructing, like the relaxing of the shoulders, the relaxing of your muscles, the sitting up straight and just letting the tension go, you actually feel it. You feel the weight of all of the stress that we're carrying just kind of melt away. And then once that melts away, you're able to then clear your mind. And for me, meditation is oftentimes a way to not clear my mind in the sense of like not thinking about anything. It's what is it that's stressing me? What is it that's causing, maybe for me to be upset or emotional, or, maybe I've been snappy with my kids and it's been bugging me, or, something like that. So I will take the time in my meditations to actually think through those things. What is it that's bothering me? And because I'm at a relaxed state and the music is calming or whatever it is, then I actually can think through those situations and come to peace with whatever it is, or get to, you can't always, come to peace with everything in life and, what's going on. And maybe it's COVID, or, the fact that you feel trapped at home or whatever it is. But come to an understanding, or come to a closer place of peace than, where you were before. And I think that, in a lot of ways, prayer is the same thing. You're coming to peace with something. You're talking through something that has been upsetting, or you need help with, or guidance on. It's the same thing for meditation, and it's just in a different format.
And you know what? I just realized my touching fabric is the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I often do find myself thinking about the things that are going on in my life, but I'm in a much calmer, relaxed state because, I'm in the fabric store and I'm tactilely engaged. That might be something that if you have trouble with meditation, just sitting down and trying to be calm, that you find some sort of tactile focus that helps you sort of draw inward and really think about things. Maybe that's what's been missing for me, because definitely I do that when I go touch fabric at Joann's.
And that might be an interesting thing. If you haven't engaged on meditation before and you want to try it, but you're feeling, hold something that does often bring you comfort. So Vanessa, find a piece of fabric that you just absolutely love, and you can just rub your hand across it as you're meditating, as you're, listening to it. Some people hold stones, like a nice smooth stone, because you can sit there and kind of rub it in your hands. It gives you that sense of not sitting still, but you are sitting still.
Right. That's my trouble. I can't sit still.
And that does take some practice. And I would not say, if you're new to meditating, you should jump into some 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute meditation by any means. Start off with a minute, 2 minutes. Focus on your breathing. You'd be surprised at how much focusing on your breathing just allows you to relax and clear your mind and relieve some stress. But yeah, so outside of meditation too, my other thing is outdoors. And I have realized that being outdoors for me, like doing a hike or a walk or whatever, usually in my preferred thing is not necessarily a neighborhood walk, but like truly in nature. That it's the same thing though, that I find that I'm doing the same thing as meditating. I'm clearing my mind. I'm, allowing in my thoughts and kind of working through that. It's a peaceful situation. But yeah.
Yeah, I love walking around in my backyard. The birds are chirping and it's lovely. And I'm sorry we had to start so late today, everybody. Danielle does have to run to a creative meeting, and I have to run to a meeting with my chief strategist. So we're unfortunately out of time. But you know what I just realized? I was super stressed sitting down to do this call. And now I'm calmer already. I feel like I can go into that meeting and I don't have the weight of the world on my shoulders, because sometimes just talking to your friend is all you need.
Yep, that's exactly right. So ladies, find a friend, find something to help calm your stress, find what it is, try meditation. I hope that you try out our meditations. We've really designed some nice soothing meditations to help exactly that, relieve your stress. So,
and if all else fails, go touch some fabric. We'll see you next time, everyone. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Try to find something that helps you relieve your stress just a little bit every day. You'll feel better, and we'll be here when you need us. See you next time.